And so I just kept going, but I remember hearing Jesus say to me, "Am I too close?" And I said, "You're not close enough."
When people think about powerful religious films, one movie that almost always comes to mind is The Passion of the Christ. The film, directed by Mel Gibson and released in 2004, became one of the most talked about movies in the world. It told the story of the final hours of Jesus Christ in a very intense and emotional way. Millions of people watched it, and many said it changed the way they thought about faith and sacrifice. But while the movie itself was powerful, what happened behind the scenes during production was just as surprising. Over the years, the actor who played Jesus, Jim Caviezel, has spoken about several strange and difficult experiences that happened while the film was being made. Some of these moments were physical struggles caused by the demanding scenes, while others felt mysterious and almost impossible to explain. According to Caviezel, the filming process pushed him to the limit both mentally and physically, and there were moments when he felt that something greater than normal human strength was helping him continue. These stories have fascinated many people because they mix filmmaking with deep spiritual ideas. Some viewers believe the experiences were simply the result of extreme filming conditions, while others see them as signs of something divine. Whatever the explanation may be, the events that Caviezel described have added another layer of mystery to a movie that was already very emotional and controversial. Before the film was made, Jim Caviezel was already a respected actor, but he was not yet known around the world. When Mel Gibson began searching for someone to play Jesus, he needed an actor who could carry the emotional weight of the story. The role required someone willing to go through difficult filming conditions and portray one of the most important figures in history. When Caviezel was offered the role, he was excited but also nervous. Playing Jesus Christ was not just another acting job. It was a responsibility that many actors might find overwhelming. Caviezel later explained that Gibson warned him that accepting the role could change his career forever. According to Gibson, Hollywood might not welcome him after playing such a strong religious role. The entertainment industry often focuses on commercial success and popular trends, and some believe that starring in such a deeply religious movie could make an actor less attractive for future roles. Caviezel thought carefully about this warning because he had only recently begun to achieve success in Hollywood. However, after reflecting on the opportunity, he decided that telling this story was more important than worrying about his career. He believed that if the film helped even a few people think more deeply about faith and sacrifice, then it would be worth the risk. This decision would later become one of the most defining moments of his life. The production of The Passion of the Christ was far more difficult than most movies. Unlike many Hollywood productions that rely heavily on special effects and comfortable filming environments, this film aimed to create a realistic and raw portrayal of historical events. The scenes of suffering and crucifixion required actors to perform in physically demanding situations. Caviezel had to wear heavy makeup and prosthetics for long hours, often while standing or hanging in uncomfortable positions. The filming locations were also challenging, with cold weather and rough terrain adding to the difficulty. Many crew members later said that the atmosphere on set felt intense and emotional, partly because of the subject matter and partly because of the physical demands placed on everyone involved. Caviezel himself experienced several injuries during filming. In some scenes, he was accidentally struck by equipment or whipped harder than intended during the scourging sequence. These moments were painful, but the actor continued to perform because he believed the film needed to show the harsh reality of the story. Over time, the constant stress and physical strain began to affect his health. Despite this, he remained committed to finishing the movie, believing that the story was too important to abandon halfway through production. One of the most shocking events that Jim Caviezel described during the filming of The Passion of Christ involved a truly mysterious incident. According to Caviezel, while filming the crucifixion scene, the most difficult and painful part of the movie, he was struck by lightning. The sky was clear, and there was no storm in sight, yet a sudden bolt of lightning hit near him while he was suspended on the cross. Amazingly, he was not seriously injured, but the moment was terrifying and left a deep impression on him. Caviezel later explained that at that moment, he felt a strong presence that he could only describe as divine. Despite the fear, he remained calm and continued with the scene, believing that something greater was protecting him. This story has fascinated many viewers because lightning strikes are extremely rare and usually very dangerous, making this experience almost impossible to explain through normal circumstances. Some people see it as a miracle, while others think it was an extremely unlikely accident. Either way, it is one of the most memorable and talked about moments in the history of filmmaking. Beyond the lightning incident, Caviezel faced numerous physical challenges that pushed him to the limits of human endurance. During the scenes depicting Jesus' suffering, he had to remain hanging on the cross for long periods in harsh weather conditions. His hands and feet were nailed with special effects prosthetics, but the weight of his own body and the strain of holding painful positions caused numbness and bruising. Caviezel reported that at one point, his body even went into a mild form of cardiac arrest due to extreme exhaustion and the cold. Despite these life-threatening situations, he refused to quit, motivated by a belief that the story he was telling had a higher purpose. Many of the doctors on set were concerned about his health, but Caviezel continued to push forward, demonstrating a level of dedication that few actors experience. These struggles were not only physical but also emotional, as he had to mentally immerse himself in the suffering and sacrifice of Jesus Christ for long hours every day. For Caviezel, the experience was not merely acting. It was a spiritual journey that tested both his body and soul. In addition to the physical dangers, Caviezel described experiences that he interpreted as spiritual or supernatural. He explained that during some scenes, he felt as if he was outside his body and could observe events from a different perspective. These near-out-of-body experiences gave him an unusual sense of calm and peace even in the middle of extreme pain. He also recounted moments when he sensed guidance or comfort that seemed to come from a higher power, helping him to complete scenes that would have been nearly impossible otherwise. According to Caviezel, these experiences convinced him that his work on the film was not just a job, but a calling. He believed that God was helping him endure the hardships, so that the story of Jesus' suffering could reach audiences in the most powerful way possible. These moments of spiritual awareness, combined with the very real physical dangers, made filming the crucifixion scene one of the most intense experiences of his life. Caviezel also talked about the long-term effects of filming on his health and life. Years after the movie was completed, he underwent several serious surgeries, including 2 major heart operations. He revealed that at one point during an operation, he briefly died on the operating table before being resuscitated. During that time, he described a profound sense of peace and calm, similar to the feelings he experienced during his on-set near-death experiences. This connection between the physical suffering of filming and the spiritual experiences, he had made Caviezel feel that his life had a unique purpose. For him, The Passion of the Christ was not just a film. It was an event that allowed him to experience, in a small way, the life, death, and resurrection of Jesus Christ. He often reflected on how the suffering he endured, both during filming and afterward, had strengthened his faith and allowed him to understand the story he portrayed on a much deeper level. The dedication and faith shown by Caviezel have inspired many viewers around the world. While some may question whether the experiences were purely spiritual, physical, or coincidental, there is no doubt that he endured extreme challenges to complete the role. His perseverance and courage, combined with the guidance he felt from his faith, created a performance that many consider one of the most authentic and moving portrayals of Jesus in film history. The strange and unexplainable events surrounding the production of The Passion of the Christ, from injuries and exhaustion to the lightning strike and out-of-body experiences, have become a part of the movie's legacy. These stories demonstrate that sometimes the making of a film can be just as extraordinary and inspiring as the story it tells on screen. Beyond the physical and mysterious experiences on set, Jim Caviezel also shared deep thoughts about faith, sacrifice, and the meaning of life that came from his work on The Passion of the Christ. He explained that portraying Jesus was not simply an acting challenge, but a spiritual journey that forced him to reflect on his own beliefs and the way he lived his life. Caviezel described moments during filming when he felt an overwhelming sense of purpose and calm, even while enduring intense pain and exhaustion. These experiences, he said, were reminders that suffering can have meaning and that carrying burdens can bring growth and understanding. He often compared his own hardships during filming to the ultimate sacrifice of Jesus on the cross, explaining that while his experiences were small in comparison, they gave him a unique insight into what it means to endure for a higher purpose. This reflection was not only about the movie itself, but about how one lives life with faith, courage, and integrity, Even in the face of challenges, Caviezel has also been outspoken about his concerns with modern Christianity, particularly the rise of the prosperity gospel. He warned that some teachings focus too much on material wealth and personal comfort rather than the true message of faith, humility, and sacrifice. In his interviews, he emphasized that faith is not about avoiding suffering or receiving only blessings, but about trusting in God even when life is difficult. He criticized the idea that God's purpose is to guarantee an easy and luxurious life for believers, reminding audiences that Jesus' life was one of struggle, service, and sacrifice. Caviezel believes that understanding this is essential for anyone who truly wants to follow the teachings of Christ. Through his own experiences during filming, including injuries, exhaustion, and near-death events, he saw firsthand that life often involves hardship and that enduring it with faith can bring spiritual growth and clarity. His words serve as a caution and inspiration for believers, encouraging them to focus on deeper spiritual truths rather than material success. One of the most remarkable insights Caviezel shared was about life, death, and the soul. He revealed that during both filming and his medical emergencies later in life, he experienced moments of leaving his physical body and feeling extraordinary peace. During these experiences, he described being aware of the world around him, yet detached from fear and pain. He said he could observe doctors and medical staff or events on set without being affected by panic or stress. These out-of-body experiences convince him that the soul continues beyond the body and that life has a purpose that goes beyond what we see in daily routines. Caviezel explained that for him, understanding this gave a sense of calm in both work and life. He felt that the spiritual reality he glimpsed during these moments was a confirmation of the importance of faith and a reminder of the peace that comes with trusting God. For audiences, these reflections provide both awe and comfort, showing a perspective on life and death that is rarely shared by celebrities or actors. Caviezel's dedication to faith was also evident in practices he followed while preparing for and filming the movie. He returned to daily prayer, confession, and other Catholic rituals, which he said helped him endure the grueling scenes and maintain focus. By connecting to his faith in tangible ways, he was able to manage both physical strain and spiritual challenges. This preparation allowed him to fully immerse himself in the character of Jesus and experience the story on a personal and emotional level. Many viewers find this inspiring because it demonstrates that acting, when combined with personal belief and commitment, can become more than performance. It can become a transformative experience. Caviezel's journey shows that when one approaches work, life, or challenges with dedication and faith, it can lead to insights and experiences that are truly life-changing. Finally, Caviezel's experiences on set reveal an important lesson about courage and perseverance. He faced extreme physical and emotional challenges, danger, and even life-threatening moments, yet he continued because he felt a higher calling. His story illustrates that extraordinary accomplishments often require enduring hardships with faith and resilience. Whether one interprets the lightning strike, near-death experiences, and spiritual encounters as miracles or as extraordinary coincidences, the message remains powerful. Courage, dedication, and belief can help humans overcome unimaginable obstacles. Caviezel's work in The Passion of Christ has not only left a lasting impact on cinema, but has also inspired audiences around the world to reflect on the meaning of faith, sacrifice, and the human spirit. Perhaps the most extraordinary and mysterious moments Caviezel experienced during the filming of The Passion of Christ involved visions and spiritual encounters that he described as beyond human explanation. He revealed that on several occasions, he felt as though Jesus himself was present with him during moments of extreme exhaustion, especially while hanging on the cross or enduring the scourging scenes. Caviezel said he sensed a presence that comforted him and guided him through the pain. In one particularly striking instance, he described seeing Jesus weeping by his side while he was lying in his bed, cold and hypothermic. He held a small crucifix in his hand and felt an incredible spiritual connection in that moment. According to Caviezel, the vision was not frightening but deeply emotional, filling him with awe, peace, and a sense of purpose. He also described seeing cards on the ground with symbolic faces, which he interpreted as messages about life, death, and divine order. These experiences were completely new to him, and he admitted that he had never encountered anything like them before in his life. To him, they confirmed that the work he was doing was part of a much larger, spiritual story, and that his sacrifices on set were being guided and watched over by a higher power. These visions were not just symbolic. They were connected to the real physical and emotional demands of filming. Caviezel explained that while the scenes were extremely painful, the presence of these spiritual moments helped him endure and maintain focus. The combination of extreme suffering and spiritual awareness made the role of Jesus unlike anything he had ever experienced. For Caviezel, portraying the life, death, and resurrection of Christ was not just acting. It was a living, breathing experience of faith and action. Every moment on the cross, every painful scene, and every strange occurrence on set reinforces belief that he was participating in something divine. This unique combination of physical challenge and spiritual revelation is one of the reasons his portrayal is considered so authentic and moving. Audiences feel that intensity and reality because Caviezel himself lived through moments of profound suffering and spiritual insight. Beyond the set, these experiences also shaped Caviezel's perspective on life and faith. He often reflected on how temporary human struggles are in comparison to eternal spiritual truths. Caviezel emphasized that enduring difficulties, whether physical or emotional, can provide insight into the nature of sacrifice, humility, and devotion. He spoke about how these lessons apply not only to actors or religious figures, but to everyone. Life often presents challenges that seem unbearable, yet facing them with faith and courage can lead to personal growth and a deeper understanding of purpose. Caviezel's journey is a reminder that suffering can have meaning and that experiencing hardship can prepare the mind and heart for something greater. By sharing these reflections, he inspires viewers to consider the role of faith and perseverance in their own lives, encouraging them to look beyond immediate struggles and seek a higher perspective. Caviezel's story also sends a powerful message about courage in the face of adversity. During filming, he encountered threats, injuries, and medical emergencies, yet he never gave up. He described near-death experiences and strange, unexplainable events, but he continued because he believed the story needed to be told. This courage was not born from pride or ego, but from a sense of responsibility and faith. He understood that the story of Jesus Christ is one of sacrifice and devotion, and he committed himself fully to representing that story truthfully. His example demonstrates that courage often involves enduring fear and uncertainty while remaining steadfast in one's values. By facing challenges directly and relying on faith and inner strength, individuals can achieve remarkable outcomes and inspire others to do the same. Finally, Caviezel's experiences on The Passion of the Christ remind audiences of the profound power of storytelling. The film itself became a global phenomenon, reaching millions and sparking discussions about faith, morality, and the meaning of sacrifice. Yet behind the camera, the true story of what the actors and crew endured adds another layer of significance. Caviezel's dedication, spiritual experiences, and courage elevate the film from entertainment to a deeply moving and meaningful cultural event. For those who study or reflect on faith, his story provides a rare insight into the intersection of human effort, spiritual belief, and divine mystery. It is a reminder that sometimes real-life experiences behind the scenes can be just as inspiring and powerful as the story portrayed on screen. In addition to his experiences on set, Jim Caviezel has shared important lessons about faith and spirituality that go beyond acting or filmmaking. He has spoken candidly about the modern state of Christianity, particularly how some believers have been influenced by ideas that focus too much on personal comfort, wealth, and material success. Caviezel cautioned that many people today misunderstand the message of Christ, believing that following him guarantees an easy life filled only with blessings. He emphasized that true faith requires sacrifice, perseverance, and trust in God, even when life is difficult. For Caviezel, this perspective is not theoretical. It comes directly from his experiences during the filming of The Passion of the Christ. The hardships he faced, including injuries, exhaustion, and near-death experiences, allowed him to understand in a profound way what it means to carry a burden for a higher purpose. Through his struggles, he saw firsthand that faith is strengthened not when life is easy, but when one endures pain and uncertainty with courage and devotion. Caviezel's reflections also touch on the dangers of following false or incomplete teachings. He warned against prosperity gospel teachings that suggest God's love can be measured by wealth or comfort. Instead, he encouraged believers to focus on spiritual growth, service, and understanding the deeper meaning of life. He believed that blessings and comforts in this life are temporary, and true value lies in the eternal. Caviezel often reminded audiences that following Christ may require giving up personal desires, facing challenges, and even risking one's own comfort or safety for a higher purpose. This message resonates strongly when combined with his real-life experiences, such as surviving the lightning strike and near-death episodes. which serve as reminders of life's fragility and the presence of forces beyond human control. By connecting personal experiences with spiritual principles, Caviezel offers guidance that is both practical and deeply meaningful, inspiring people to reflect on their own faith and values. Another lesson Caviezel shared is the importance of preparation, discipline, and personal responsibility in spiritual life. During filming, he returned to daily prayer, confession, and other Catholic practices that he had not followed consistently in years. These routines, he said, provided him with the mental and emotional strength needed to endure the physically demanding scenes. More importantly, they allowed him to remain focused on the story's meaning rather than just the technical or physical challenges. Caviezel's dedication shows that faith requires active participation, not passive belief. Just as he prepared for his role on set with both body and spirit, he believes that living a meaningful life requires attention to personal growth, discipline, and awareness of one's actions. His example encourages viewers to see faith as an ongoing practice that strengthens resilience and provides clarity, rather than as a simple set of rituals or beliefs. Caviezel also reflected on the broader significance of his experiences for humanity. He suggested that life is full of challenges and that suffering is part of the journey, but that enduring hardship with integrity and faith can bring deeper understanding and peace. His stories remind audiences that even when events seem terrifying, dangerous, or inexplicable, there may be a purpose beyond immediate comprehension. Caviezel's near-death experiences and out-of-body encounters are examples of how life can offer glimpses of a reality that is larger than ourselves. While some might interpret these moments as extraordinary coincidences, others see them as signs of divine presence. Either way, the experiences emphasize the importance of courage, perseverance, and spiritual awareness in navigating life's uncertainties. Caviezel's journey demonstrates that human endurance, combined with faith, can lead to insight and growth that are otherwise difficult to achieve. Finally, Caviezel's story is a powerful reminder that commitment, sacrifice, and belief can have a lasting impact. His work on the Passion of the Christ has not only influenced cinema, but has also inspired millions of viewers to reflect on faith, morality, and the human spirit. The mysterious and challenging experiences he endured, from injuries to spiritual visions, show that great achievements often require great sacrifice. Caviezel's insight encouraged people to face difficulties with courage, embrace faith in times of uncertainty, and consider the deeper meaning of life. For audiences around the world, his journey provides both awe and hope, demonstrating that even in the most challenging moments, strength, faith, and perseverance can guide individuals toward understanding and purpose. Among the most compelling parts of Jim Caviezel's story are the spiritual visions and divine encounters he shared, experiences that he says are almost impossible to explain. Caviezel described moments on set and afterward when he felt an extraordinary presence guiding him, often in ways that seemed to surpass normal human understanding. For instance, during the crucifixion scenes, he recounted feeling shot out his body and witnessing events from a perspective outside himself. He could see crew members working frantically, yet he felt calm and peaceful, unaffected by fear or pain. These out-of-body experiences gave him a sense of clarity and purpose, reinforcing his belief that he was fulfilling a divine calling. In interviews, Caviezel explained that these moments were unlike anything he had ever experienced, and that they deeply affected his understanding of life, suffering, and the soul. For him, these experiences were not entertainment or hallucinations. They were real encounters that affirmed his faith and dedication to portraying the life of Christ authentically. Caviezel also shared an